Hey guys, want to do another video here and continue to talk about narcissism, narcissistic, actions and phrases, and the narcissistic world that we live in today, and that being controlled on a grand level, being the whole world, and narcissistic being the active force in the universe. Okay. Okay. So, I did a previous video, which was entitled, Snitches Run the Industry. Okay. So they run the industries, snitches and rats and criminals. They run all of the industry. So they basically got about 99% of all the businesses, all the fake news. They own all the criminals in the justice system. They own the police. They own the FBI. Okay. So criminals, rats, and snitches, liars, cheats, and frauds. Whoa. That is your industry. That's the industry that's set. That's the standard that's set for living. That is a false narrative and your false interpretation of what you thought was positive. It wasn't. hate to break it to you like that, but it wasn't. It was a lie. It paints a false negative. It brainwashes. They brainwash it. They brainwash society. They brainwash society as a whole. They brainwash the different groups. They have psychological problems implanted in society. Okay, there's a grand antagonist that is causing all these problems, and they know it. Okay, by inserting ego. Hey, if you do this, which is super negative, super bad, super sinful, you'll be rewarded with, I can't really pay you anything, but how about money? But it's not real money. We're not. That's why we have to be on a fake monetary system, because we could just print more and it's just paper. But you're willing to sacrifice your blood. You're willing to spill other folks' blood. You're willing to kill. They might be willing to sell their own soul for some worthless paper. Okay. Snitches run the industry. They run the industries. Okay. People that you think were hard workers, you thought they were about something. You might think they were really talented. Their talent was lying and snitching and being the best criminal, and all at the same time, while being quiet about it, all at the same time, while not talking publicly about it, all at the same time, all at the same time, not being public with it, okay? Because they wouldn't want to admit how they got there in the first place, but it wasn't by anything good. It wasn't by normal standards or what you think would be a standard, okay? It was by being the best liar, the best snitch, the best rat. Snitches run the industry, okay? So don't put any false hope into their false narrative, okay? The fake news, okay? How does the fake news work? Well, they would have to start with something good and positive. They would have to start with something that's that might be true, you know what I'm saying? And so you're reading it and you're going true. You're reading it, you're going true, and you're reading the truth, And I'm reading more truths, and I'm going, yeah, that was true. That's true. That's true. That's true. And I'm nodding my head, and I'm nodding my head, and you're just going true, 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 true. And they get you into this like hypnotic trance. So you're just going true, 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 obey, buy, consume, buy, try, lie, buy, true, try. Whoa, you see how I snuck that one in? You see how I snuck that one lie? I snuck the lie in, and I was still going like this. I was still nodding, going, yes. You see how, but I said lie. Whoa, see that's how it works, okay? So they get you believing things that are true, and you're still nodding your head going, well, it's on the news, it must be real. These broadcasters, they must be telling the truth. And you're going, yeah, true, true, and lie, and you're still nodding your head, and it just went in. And they didn't acknowledge it. Maybe they did, but maybe they didn't have. You didn't have to go back, and they won't be held accountable for it in the first place. So what do they care? That's the standards that set the fake news, the fake. So if the news is fake, what else is fake? If snitches run the industry, can I really put my faith, my hard work, into somebody who was paid with by tax dollars, and they're liars and they're snitches and they're painting a false narrative, that they are actually trustworthy, they're actually about something, they actually did hard work, they actually were about real talk, they were actually about talent, they were actually talented, okay? They actually worked hard and enhanced their own ability through hard work. No, they didn't. They lied, they cheated, they corrupted society. They helped corrupt society. Then recruiting other betas, and they all can get drunk at the bar later. We lie, we all lie, no one else falls for it. And it's just a sad, sick world that we live in, that with snitches run the industry, and they run all the industries, and when 99% of all these people are liars and snitches and frauds, and can you really put your faith in anything in this world? It would have to be and start with yourself, okay? And avoiding 99% of the people in society can and will be hard, okay? That's a hard task right there, okay? And and if you even have a strand of goodness in you, that you can't go along with that, how could you? If you actually worked hard yourself, well, I'm about hard work. I'm about actually building myself up, and so I can't go along with your lie. How could I? Okay, and one of the most idiotic things that they would say was like, well, why didn't you just go along with it? Or he didn't want to go along with it, or they don't want to go along with it. They didn't want to go along with the lie that's being perceived in society of the false narrative that they set, okay, that they rigged everything, okay. Society's rigged. It's rigged by narcissism. It's rigged by the narcissist. It's rigged for them to actually perjure themselves. Okay, so that means the beta recruitments, they all tell lies. They all get in on the liars. Hey, maybe we'll look out for you. Some others say, well, maybe we can all be friends. They're not your friends. They weren't other friends, but they're recruiting you, the betas, to tell lies and actually perjure themselves and tell lies on somebody else. And so that's the standard it sets for society. It's a false standard. It's so when that's 99% of all the industry, you have to go back and say, well, who in all of these industries, going back as a kid, like they would ask people, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Okay. So, I say some, so said a policeman, a lawyer. Some people say judges. Some people said they want to be firemen. Some people said they wanted to be a teacher. Some people said they wanted to be a coach. Some people said they wanted to be anything. Okay. Well, guess what? That's already run by snitches. They already have it set up so somebody could lie and snitch, and they could insert this snitch, this rat, this narcissism, and get them to go along with it. And they'll say, another catchphrase. I'm gonna do another one on this one in the video that says, "I just went along with it." Okay. So when you hear somebody say, "I just went along with it," that was a grand narcissistic scheme of lying and betraying themselves and painting a false narrative, and telling lies on society and as a whole. And I just went along with it. They just went along with the lie. They just went along with the snitching. They just went along with the gaslighting. They just went along with being a coward. Get out of hard work. Don't have to work hard. Everyone else is working hard, doing hard work, putting in the effort, putting in the sweat, and they're just taking the easy road. Taking the easy road out. I just went along with it. So I'm gonna do another video on that little cowardly phrase that's used by some of these narcissists, and how they would flip it, this and that. In any and all ways, shapes and forms, flip it, and being this psychological amoeba that they could flip and spin things in different ways and be a liar and a coward, and the cowardly acts that exist when snitches run the industry. That it, the false narrative, and that it sets a standard for cowards. Okay? When cowards are rewarded for cowardly acts, it only sets the standards where somebody would say, well, that's what you have to do to be successful. Okay? That's true. All right? So anyone that you think when 99% of snitches run all the 99% of the industries, it would only leave open a entrepreneurship, a person who would be self-made, a person who wouldn't need anybody else, okay? A person who is seeking to be an alpha, okay? And that means going out and being strong. Being strong-willed, okay? Having a moral code, having ethics, ethos that they apply, okay? That person, that's maybe the 1%, okay? 99% of the betas, the soulless, the cowards, the snitches, the rats, they're chasing the alpha, okay? They are the beta recruitment. The betas, they're huddling together. They're conversating. They're calling. They're trying to actually create their own secret society of snitches and betas and soulless rats that you can't really put any faith into anything that they're about. Sad but true. But being a strong-willed individual and leading by example is something that would only have to happen when you just would have to say, well, I can't be reliant on society. I can't be brainwashed by this false narrative that's set for a false interpretation of success. Okay, success isn't being a coward. Success isn't being a stitch. It's not being a rat. Okay? Who cares if they got 1 million people to rat? It's a lie. Okay? At the end of the day, it's still a lie, and it's a false. It's a untrue. Okay. And ultimately, if they had to rely on themselves, they wouldn't and couldn't. They don't have the skills. They don't have the brain power. They don't have the patience. They're not putting in the hard work. They're not about nothing. Okay. Junk, garbage mentality, and they can't be trusted. They can't be trusted. They can't be associated with. If you can't trust somebody, you can't associate with them. Okay. And if they would do it once, they would say you're stupid. Okay. If they would do it twice, they would say you're really stupid. But third time by somebody actually would do that to you, or have you fall for their little psychological games and tricks that they set and play, and in the false narrative, the fake news, the fake world we exist in, the narcissistic world where snitches run the industry. It's not anything that you can put any type of faith in. Don't put faith in that. You're gonna have to identify them as a piece of junk and a coward. Okay, you're gonna have to identify them as a piece of garbage that they are. Okay, straight up garbage. Okay. And they'll probably tell you about it. All right. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. You know what I'm saying? So snitches run the industry. This fake world, this fake news, the fake everything. 99% of all these fake industries, they have sewed up with snitches and rats, and snitches run the industry. And wrap this up. So.